cliche-riddled film that fails to ignite than Off the Rails. I really could not. Now, I'm not sure, guys, have any of you seen this apart from me?
Yes, I've seen it.
Good. All right. Well, Anna is in her 50s when she dies of cancer, leaving behind European rail passes for her three good friends to revisit their past adventures. And they've got instructions to get to Palma Cathedral in Mallorca in Spain. Now, I've been to Spain, but I haven't been to Mallorca, and I want to see this cathedral. So that's the one thing I can say that's good about this movie. It's given me sort of something on my wish list. Anyway, 5 days they've got to get there and witness a rare occurrence which is known as God's disco ball. And that's the effect of the sun shining through the cathedral's stained glass window, a round stained glass window. With them is Anna's 18-year-old daughter Maddie, played by Elizabeth Dormer Phillips, who dropped out of school to care for her mum before she passed away, of course. Each of these three middle-aged women have their issues. Cassie, played by Kelly Preston, who is a nurse in a television series, has lost custody of her son. Kate, Jenny Seagrove, is a writer in financial strife. Cassie and Kate, the two that I've just mentioned, they fell out years ago over the man who Cassie is now fighting for shared custody of their son. The other woman is Liz, Sally Phillips, a doctor. She's mothering and smothering. So, bickering, sniping, yeah, that happens, along with a series of unfortunate incidents, including losing passports. And that severely compromises the chances of this quartet making it to the Palma Cathedral on time. Because, as I say, this occurrence is only rare. And if they don't get there by 9 a.m. on this particular day, well, basically, you can forget it. It's then just a cathedral without that special God's disco ball. Along the way, a number of romantic entanglements unfold, and Liz confronts an ugly truth. Underlining it all is the music of Blondie. So, Peter, Off the Rails is good at feeding us the bleeding obvious, and is all the poorer for it. It's manufactured pap. The script by Jordan Waller is atrocious. It lacks creativity. It lacks zest. The acting was pedestrian. It was unconvincing. There's this great wooden quality about it, if you like wooden quality to your acting. And I quickly formed the impression with this one as well that the actors lacked belief in their own characters. Lack of chemistry between the performers is a further problem. What did you think of Off the Rails? M-rated, 94 minutes.
Look, there are compromises in this film. In terms of the buddy genre, there have been a number of male and female-oriented films that have looked at buddies, looked at people who have been friends for a long time, get together again and find something to reminisce about or to bond about. And I mean, European cinema is replete with a lot of these films. I've seen so many Italian, French and other films that have dealt with this situation, especially about women finding some sort of bond that they can move forward about. I think this one is not as good as some of those because the writing tends to be a bit cliched. The characters are a little bit over the top and stereotyped, although it was sad to see Kelly Preston in the film because that was her last film role.
Let's pause there. That's what I've sort of said. The real tragedy of Off the Rails is that it's Kelly Preston's last movie. She died before it was released. And, I mean, this is where it's... I've got no idea how soon. I'm presuming she was well and truly fighting cancer when she was doing this movie. But, I mean, you look at her there and you look at her full of life, etc., and it's very sad. It really is, just to know that... It's great that, you know, this was released from that perspective. I just wish it was a film that was more worthy. That's all.
Yeah, look, I understand that, and it's interesting to see Judi Dench in one of her 1,000 performances in a cameo role. Look, this is a film a bit like Book of Love, I suppose, that will appeal to a female demographic. Women, a number of women will like this film, and so hence it's being released. I just felt it was a little bit too cliche-ridden, and although it was interesting also to see Franco Nero have a role in this film. So there are elements of the film that are trying to make this as sparkling and as interesting as possible. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite achieve that.
Well, I think the word try needs to be followed by hard. It is a try-hard film, and it fails. Judi Dench, in this small role, is about the only one, I reckon, that emerges with some level of integrity intact. It's got zero surprises. In the name of supposedly feel-good entertainment, Peter, it panders to the lowest common denominator. It actually had me wringing my hands and squirming in despair. I was just thinking, oh my God, where are we going to hide? Surely an adult audience deserves better than this, much better than, and this is director Jules Williamson's first feature film. So, I mean, I kind of think it's almost, this would be a film for an older female demographic. Would you agree?
That's probably true.
But sorry, there's a point.
And that's fine.
Well, it's fine, but it's not. I've seen too many movies that are similar to this that basically, I reckon, it almost treats the audience like they're stupid. That's the thing that really offended me about this. There wasn't an intelligence about it. I'm not saying every movie has to be intelligent, but treating the audience with respect, I reckon, is imperative. And I just don't think the audience was treated with respect.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue about that. I think the journey, though, even though it is cliche-ridden, resolves itself quite nicely insofar as at least we have some sort of moving forward that all of these women can now achieve. So I think I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad. Yeah.
That journey, Peter. I mean, that's the thing that was so clear from the get-go. There was never any doubt, was there, that was going to happen?
It's predictable, of course.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got a very, very low score in mind for this one. Again, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10, similar to Book of Love. Off the rails, M-rated, 94 minutes. And you, Peter Krausz, are going to give it a...
Because it has some elements in it that I thought weren't bad, I gave it 5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. I'm surprised it's as high as that. But there you go. There are a couple of the movies. It's disappointing that